Bitter feuds, armored cars, and a shocking medical diagnosis. Taylor Swift may be one of the most successful musicians of all time, but life hasn't exactly been easy for her parents. Taylor Swift may not have been raised in the bustling country music scene of Nashville, but she was determined to make her dreams a reality. Andrea and Scott Swift raised their daughter alongside her brother Austin on a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania, in a small town where residents tend to stay their whole lives. As Swift told Entertainment Weekly in 2008, "Nobody really expects you to leave, especially before you graduate. That doesn't happen." It couldn't have been easy for Andrea and Scott to pack up the lives they had known for decades, but their daughter was already writing songs in middle school, and she had her sights set on Tennessee. When Swift was just 14 years old, the family packed up and moved to Hendersonville, a city near downtown Nashville. At the time, Scott transferred his stockbroker career to a new office. Despite the move, Taylor's parents made sure their daughter never felt she was shouldering the weight of the decision. Andrea told Entertainment Weekly, "I never wanted to make that move about her making it, because what a horrible thing if it hadn't happened, for her to carry that kind of guilt or pressure around." After a number of gigs in the city, Swift eventually caught the eye of music guru Scott Borchetta. He eventually signed Taylor to Big Machine label group in 2005 and helped launch her career.
Most people find out what they're going to do when they're in college, and that's great, But I guess for me, it just came a little earlier.
Scott Swift made some shocking comments about his role in his daughter's early career. In 2023, a leaked email from Scott was released amidst an ongoing lawsuit brought against the Swifts by her former manager, Daniel Dimtro, who claimed he was underpaid while working for the singer nearly 2 decades ago. In the 2005 email, Scott discussed his role as a financier and marketer for his daughter's brand, writing, "Bear with me, I need to vent. I know one thing, no one is going to aid you and Taylor in becoming successful more than I will." He went on to express his frustrations about being left out of his daughter's star-studded life, writing, "Who gets to go to New York, New England, and every cool appearance? Not Dad. Can't fix hair. Dad talks too much. Who pays for trips to New York? Dad." The email also shed light on what appeared to be cracks in Scott and Andrea's marriage, when Scott mentioned that his wife had prohibited him from sending business emails related to Taylor. He even asked Dimtro not to mention their conversation to Taylor or Andrea, writing, "Send it to her or mention it to Taylor and there will probably be a quick divorce." Taylor Swift received tragic news in 2015 when she learned that her mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer. The singer took to Tumblr to share the news, writing, "For Christmas this year, I asked my mom that one of her gifts to me be her going to the doctor to get screened for any health issues, just to ease some worries of mine. The results came in, and I'm saddened to tell you that my mom has been diagnosed with cancer." In 2019, Taylor revealed in a personal essay for Elle that not only had Andrea Swift's cancer returned, but that her father had also been previously diagnosed with the condition. While she didn't reveal the exact type of cancer her father dealt with, she wrote, "Both of my parents have had cancer, and my mom is now fighting her battle with it again. My mom's cancer is a real problem. I used to be so anxious about daily ups and downs. I give all of my worry, stress, and prayers to real problems now." In the end, the singer turned to music to help process her emotions. Her 2019 track, "Soon You'll Get Better," was written about her mother, and it shares her fears about the possibility of losing her. That said, Swift has since admitted that she has a hard time performing the track. She told SiriusXM, "I don't know if I'll ever play it live. It was hard to write. It's hard to sing. It's hard to listen to for me. But sometimes music is like that. Sometimes it's not just about stuff that was pleasant to feel." Scott Swift has long been concerned about his daughter's safety, especially when she speaks out about politics. In a 2018 Instagram post, the singer got candid about where she stands on a number of important issues. She wrote, "In the past, I've been reluctant to publicly voice my political opinions, but due to several events in my life and in the world in the past 2 years, I feel very differently about that now." She went on to denounce Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn. She added, "I believe in the fight for LGBTQ rights and that any form of discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender is wrong. I believe that the systemic racism we still see in this country towards people of color is terrifying, sickening, and prevalent." Scott reacted to the post during his daughter's Netflix documentary Miss Americana, attempting to convince her not to write the post.
Yes, I've read the entire thing, and the bottom line right now, I'm terrified.
Scott then admitted that he had taken extra precautions to protect his and his daughter's safety given her immense fame.
I'm the guy that went out and bought armored cars.
And Taylor told Variety she understands his reasoning. She said, "My dad is terrified of threats against my safety and my life, and he has to see how many stalkers we deal with on a daily basis and know that this is his kid." One of the most devastating moments of Taylor Swift's career occurred in 2019 when her tumultuous feud with Scooter Braun was made public. Swift had left Big Machine label group in 2018 and signed with Universal Music Group, knowing her body of work would eventually be sold. She was devastated to find out that Braun was to be the buyer, as he ultimately bought Big Machine in a $300 million deal in 2019. As a result, he came into possession of all of Swift's masters. The singer shared her reaction in a shocking Tumblr post at the time, writing, "When I left my masters in Scott's hands, I made peace with the fact that eventually he would sell them. Never in my worst nightmares did I imagine the buyer would be Scooter." And it turns out that Scott Swift was unknowingly involved in the feud too. Scott was a shareholder in Big Machine at the time of the negotiations with Braun, but chose not to participate in an NDA-binding shareholders phone call before the deal. Because of his decision to not participate in the phone call, Scott was unaware that he would be awarded $15 million as part of Braun's acquisition of the record label.